What a week, friends. What a fucking week. We will wait for people to join us before I delve into talking about the apocalypse. Shall we? Wonderful. Hello, welcome. Hi, friends. Happy Woke Wednesday. This week already feels like it has been 18 weeks in one. Welcome. I hope that you all enjoyed the last weekend of summer, which seemed to have flown by. And here we are, knee deep into September, wondering where the fuck our country is going. If you are new to Woke Wednesday, here is the drill. Drop into the comment section an emoji that expresses how you are feeling today. Mine would be, as per usual, just the orange face, angry with saying, fuck! That's how I feel. I just want to scream, fuck, every single day of every single moment. Like, I'm gonna be that weird neighbor that is going to go out onto their balcony and just do a primal fucking scream every single morning. Like, maybe that will be Brooklyn's alarm clock, will just be me screaming. And I'll be like, oh, it must be 7:30. Danielle must be awake. That's how I feel. Coming off of the holiday weekend, I thought to myself, we'll have a good respite, we'll feel better. And then it's just like jumping into a bin of acid, really, is what this week has been. And it's Wednesday. And also, most of us had off on Monday. So that just gives you a little perspective into how the fuck I'm feeling this week. So in the comment section, drop your emoji. I'm seeing angry faces, head blown faces, vomiting faces, shit everywhere. That pretty much sums up America, right? Am I right? So today's topic is essentially being forced back to normal. And you know, for you parents that are in the audience today, I know, and I want to say that I don't have kids, and I am completely and totally with you in the spirit of confusion, of anxiety, of frustration. And I just want you in the comment section to tell me, how has it been the past couple of days? If your kids have been back longer than that, how has it been? If you were a teacher or an administrator at a school, what is it like? Because the pictures that I'm seeing and the protests that are taking place in front of schools and at schools, I mean, we talked about this last week, the audacity of this old white man, this dad, to put hands on a fucking high schooler because she was wearing a mask and she was tired of being filmed every fucking day, because this is the new normal. We are just allowing adults to harass children in the way that Marjorie Taylor Greene harassed David Hogg when he was a teenager and she wasn't a member of Congress. But like, that's what we're doing now. This is the same folks. And this is like, I want to talk about hypocrisy, right, for a minute. Because these are the same fucking people. Like, if you were to put up a Venn diagram, right? So here are the pro-forced birth people. I just learned that term today. Thank you, Danielle Campamore. So here are the pro-forced birth. Because here's the thing. We're also no longer going to call them pro-life. If you're with me, give an applause in the comment section. We're not calling these people pro-life. Because here's something. I just got out of a conversation with Danielle Campamore. And she is an abortion advocate and a freelance writer, and she'll be on Woke AF tomorrow. So if you are not a subscriber to Woke AF, go to patreon.com/Woke AF and subscribe $5 a month, and you get a whole lot of me. But Danielle is coming on the show, and what she has talked about is the fact that we need, as progressives, as Democrats, to reclaim the narrative and reclaim language, frankly, from the radical right. We have allowed them for decades to claim that they are pro-life. And we use, as she said so eloquently today, we use their language when we are defending abortion. And so here's the thing. Like, no, they're not fucking pro-life, because then what the fuck would that make us? And if you were pro-life, then you would be pro-all about life. You would be pro-fucking mask right now. Because you got these anti-fucking abortion folks over here, these pro-forced birth. Then you got these same motherfuckers who are anti-mask and anti-vaccination and want to be protesting in front of hospitals and fucking schools so that they can keep your kids fucking sick. And then here's the middle. There's no daylight in between these type of people. But you know what's in the middle? Fucking white evangelical Christians. That's what's in the fucking middle, because they are in both goddamn camps, justifying their use of the Bible, right, to justify cruelty, to justify violence, to justify a whole host of things, but want to tell you how about life they are. Bitch, if you are about life, talk to me about why you haven't extended the child care tax credit. Why would you vote against that? If you were so fucking pro-life, then tell me why you would vote against investment into public schools, right? Why you would vote against healthcare. If you were so, pro-life, then tell me why you are marching in favor of a virus that is killing the country. Tell me that, right? You can't. Because to be quote unquote pro-life, you have to care about life from inception all the way to death. But see, these motherfuckers, do you know why they love to talk about the uterus? Why they love to talk about the collection of cells that, if allowed to continue, will turn into some form of life, but not at the time frame that they're talking about. They're talking about 6-week heartbeat bans. There's no heartbeat at 6 weeks. None. But we as Democrats regurgitate that same language, right? We as Democrats say that abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. Right? Why rare? You should be able to get an abortion whenever the fuck you need one, right? Why do we have to talk about the rarity of something when we know that 1 in 4 people with uteruses have fucking abortions, right? So if that is 1 in 4, right, people that are having abortions, so how are we talking about something that we need to keep rare? No, what we need to do is keep people in the workplace. What we need to do is provide for children all the way through their lives, right? What we need to do is to stop allowing the radical right to justify their control of people's bodies. Because this is what this is about. This is not about science. This is not about love. This is not about God. It is about fucking control, right? So let's just say what it is. Instead of being able to talk about and wanting to say, oh, look, folks, look, I had an abortion because I was raped or because of incest or because of, well, it doesn't fucking matter. How about that? How about Roe v. Wade said that an abortion was legal in these United States? How about I don't owe you the reason in which, if I needed an abortion, that I have to have one? I don't owe you that tale. But we as Democrats fall into the pro-radical right fucking language all the goddamn time. We have a president right now, right, who has yet to utter the word abortion. We have Democrats that want to talk about choice and they want to talk about all of these euphemisms. They want to talk about women's reproductive health. Well, here's the thing. We're talking about abortion, right? We're talking about the fact that we do not live in a country that wants to provide for your families, that wants to make sure that you have your basic needs met, right? So they want to force women to birth, right? They want to force people to have children that they do not want and that they cannot afford. So tell me what impact that is going to have on society, right? Right now, right? Governor Abbott, that piece of hot fucking trash in Texas. The state is out of control with their COVID cases, right? Out of fucking control. Texas has children that are being hospitalized right now. But do you see Abbott putting any energy into anything like that? Do you see him putting any energy into caring for your children that currently exist? No, because he would rather bring back special sessions to make sure that women do not have any power, to make sure, right, that you are tethered to your home, that you are tethered to a partner, because you no longer have the ability to plan for your life. You no longer have the ability to plan for work. You also want to give power to employees to not cover you for health insurance, not provide you with pills in order for you to be able to have a safe at-home abortion. Because here's the thing, folks, they're not done. Right? Because when the Supreme Court decided to enter into the chat, right, and decided that they weren't going to uphold the law, right, that they were going to let things slide, what they did was provide signals to every other conservative state to follow suit because they're not going to intervene. But we knew that. So why is it that Democrats right now are acting surprised about what the Supreme Court has done? Why are Democrats right now acting like, oh my God, we had no idea that Roe was going to be off the table? Where the fuck have you been? This is the fantasy that Democrats have created, that, oh, if we got rid of Trump, if we got rid of this one figure, that everything was going to go back to normal. No, it's not. And do you know why it's also not going to go back to normal? Because you refuse to make that man accountable and responsible for the crimes that he committed while he was president of the United States, right? We refuse to investigate Brett Kavanaugh, who we know lied while he was under oath, which is a fucking crime. Democrats keep moving in reaction to fucking Republicans as opposed to demanding, right, that they fall in fucking line, because who gave them the gavel? No one, right? They lost the White House, they lost the House, and they lost the fucking Senate. That was an indictment by the people of this country. But Democrats are walking around apologizing. Democrats are walking around looking for their friend from across the aisle. Fuck that. You knew that this was coming, and this is what drives me crazy. See, people think that I only go off about Republicans. No, I don't. Because you see, you teach people how to treat you. You know that you've heard that, right? You teach people how to treat you. So if you're going to roll over, right, and get fucked over and over again by the same group of people, are they going to treat you any different? No, they're not, right? Because they know that you're going to lay down. They know that you're not going to put up a fucking fight. And that is exactly what they are doing right now. You recognize that we have lost voting rights, and now we are losing abortion rights. And we supposedly have all the fucking power. Tell me where, right? Where is the power that the people of this country gave to this administration and gave to Congress in 2020 in the midst of a pandemic, showing up and showing out for fucking hours, right? This is before we had vaccines. This is before we really knew what the fuck we were dealing with. And we showed up to save ourselves. So where are Democrats today? Talking about, oh, I'm sorry. Talking about Merrick Garland. Oh, we're going to investigate what we can do. Bitch, you should have been done that, right? You should have been done that from the jump, because you had the map. You knew what they were doing. Because you see, the thing is, folks, is that Republicans don't come up with new shit, right? They don't come up with new problems. It's the same shit that they have been trying to roll back for the last close to 50 fucking years. So you cannot act surprised when they are doing the same thing. They have always been against voting. So when they start spreading the big fucking lie, you should have been working behind the scenes saying that as soon as we enter into this fucking White House, as soon as we enter into this new state of Congress, that these are the things, these are our only priorities. Don't talk to me about fucking infrastructure. Don't talk to me about the extension of this, that, and the other thing. You want to preserve America? Preserve voting rights. You want to preserve America? Preserve abortion rights. Miss me with the, oh, we had no idea, right? And also, you know what? And this always comes back to those two who are representative of more. So let me be clear. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, these moderate blue dog fucking Republicans, I'm sorry, they're Democrats, but they're really Republicans in Democrats' bad fitting suits, right? So what they want to tell us is that they're not going to get rid of the filibuster because it's an institution that will, what will happen when Republicans get power? What will they do with the filibuster? Well, I don't know. And here's the thing, Joe Manchin said, well, you know, we have to think about future problems that come up. We have to think about future problems? Lake Tahoe is on fire, okay? Whole places behind me, right, were under full-fledged of water, right? People walking through fucking sewage. People whose homes, generational homes, are now destroyed. We can't get anything through with climate change. We can't get the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed. We can't get any of these things fucking done that are supposedly Democratic goals and values. We can't get any of that done. Why? Because of the fucking filibuster. So miss me with what you think Republicans are going to do when they get back power, and how about you preserve the power that the people just gave you? How about we stop wondering what they're going to do when they tell us every single day what the fuck that they are going to do? They don't want black people and brown people to vote. They want women back in the house. They want whiteness and white males to prevail above all else. They want fundamental white evangelical Christians to be laying doctrine in your schools, right? They want them to be telling you what it is that you can and cannot do. Folks, wake up, right? This is not new. But what is new is the tactics that they are using. What is new is the fact that they are no longer have to be tethered to the truth. That they can just fucking lie. They can tell you to take horse medication. They can tell you to shine a light up your ass, right? They can tell you that, oh, Biden is some type of low-key terrorist. They can say and do all of these things because the truth is not what grounds them. Power does. So when you know how people move, you need to move differently. You cannot use the same fucking tactics. Don't tell me about the things that you want to work with them on when they are telling you that they would rather see you dead. Are you confused or are you stupid? Because these are the questions that I have for Democrats right now. Real fucking talk. Right? You want to talk to me in the midst after Ida. I see all these politicians want to stand up and talk about the infrastructure bill and why we need the infrastructure bill passed. Joe Manchin didn't want climate change language in the infrastructure bill because he is fucking tethered to big coal. So again, tell me how, if reprimanding Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema and making them fall in line, right, would get things done. Tell me why we don't do that. Because I know that there are more of these fucking moderate blue dogs than those that come out in front of the camera. Because we know that Joe Manchin loves a good lighting boy. That man loves some fucking attention. Because that's why he acts the fucking way he does. Much like toddlers, you see, when you don't teach them boundaries, when you don't teach them what to do, they run the fuck all over you. And that is exactly what these politicians are doing right now. You want to apologize to me about losing the state of Texas, knowing that Kentucky, Ohio, Alabama, like Georgia, all of these places are going to be following suit. There are 8 states right now that are looking to follow Texas's lead. 8 states. Soon it will be half, right? And a woman will not be able to get an abortion anywhere. But it will be some type of law that's there that says that it can happen, right? The Supreme Court is taking up Mississippi's 15-week ban in but a couple of weeks. Where do you think that that's going? But again, where was the conversation around the courts during the election? Do you all remember anybody talking about the courts on the Democrat side? Because it's the only thing that fucking Republicans ever talk about. They always want to bring up the radical judges and these revolutionary judges, these activist fucking judges. I can't think of more of an activist judge than Amy COVID Barrett. I can't think of more of an activist judge than Brett Kavanaugh. People who believe that they have the ability to impose their will, their religion on the rest of us. You think that they are going to stop with abortion, and you think that if you are living and watching this in a blue state right now that you are safe? You are not. We are one election, one politician away from being fully on Handmaid's Tale, being full on fucking Black Mirror. No one is safe. And that's honestly what I want people to wake up and realize. You are not safe. That is why I have so much anxiety. That is why I'm so fucking uneasy these days. Because there is nowhere that you can look, there is nowhere that you can go where you can say, oh, no, I feel safe right now. They are willing to kill your kids. Do you understand? Last week, in a week span, that the American Pediatrics Association has been following the COVID numbers. Do you know how many children were infected with COVID-19 in the last week? 250 fucking thousand. 250,000 of the nation's children contracted COVID last week. It is all over the news. Forbes, Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Times, all over TV today. And folks, for most of America, this is the first full week of school, right? So what we are saying is that even before your kids were fully fledged back at school, 250,000 children contracted COVID. Now, what they want to tell you is that, they're not dying of it. You have no idea what the fucking long-term effects are going to be on bodies that are still developing. But these motherfuckers, these white evangelical Christians, want to be protesting out in front of your kids' schools. They want to be threatening doctors and school board members for trying to keep your kids safe. Not knowing at all what COVID will do to a body that is 12, 10, 7, 6, 5, and still developing. You don't know. The virus has only been around for 18 fucking months on the planet. So maybe, just maybe, you want your kid to wear a fucking mask and social distance. But not if you live in fucking Florida. Not if you are Death Santis, right? No, because let me tell you what has happened now. So Death Santis, right, running his death camp down in Florida, another judge, the second time, has decided to push back against him and say that he has overstepped his bounds, right? He has overstepped his authority to be able to penalize monetarily schools and school boards and administrators from trying to enforce mask mandates. So here's the thing. You have right now, Florida has the highest rates of COVID just in general, but particularly for kids. So does Texas. But they all want to talk about how fucking pro-life that they are, but they want to ensure that your child goes to school and catches a virus that we know nothing about how it will work in their body, what it will do over the course of their lifetime. And then these same politicians are going to ensure, right, that child who will then turn into adult won't be able to get health insurance because they will have a pre-existing condition associated with COVID. Do you see how fucking crazy this is? Do you see the world that they are creating right now? That as long as we are in despair, as long as we are in this place of anxiety, that their plan is actually working. You see, because when people are not able to have their basic needs met, when they are living in a state of panic, that is when authoritarian rule comes marching its way in. They are not even, right? They're not even doing this under the radar. They are doing this in broad fucking daylight. And we're sitting around as Democrats being like, oh, our friends across the aisle. No, they'll come around. We'll just appeal to their morality. We'll be like Nancy Pelosi and just say, you know what? I'll pray for you, Jim Jordan. I'll pray for you, Ron DeSantis. I'll pray for you, Greg Abbott, as you continue to turn your states into death camps. These are the same people, by the way, during the Obama era when he was trying to provide people with health care that said that they were going to set up death panels. Well, that's essentially what they have turned school board meetings into, right? I cannot with the bullshit. I cannot with the hypocrisy. And I cannot with Democrat inaction. I am tired of being a member of a party that is constantly reactive, right? When are we going to be proactive? When are we going to call bullshit and actually, instead of reacting in fear, say, you know what? Because Jim Jordan tweeted yesterday evening talking about in real America, COVID was done. No, in fucking red states, COVID is raging. And these motherfuckers are on their deathbeds, begging for ventilators and begging for the vaccine after the fucking fact. That's what's happening in your quote unquote real America. Because apparently we live where? In Disney fucking land? Right? All of a sudden, New York, California, oh, we're not Americans? It's only people that live in red states? Go fuck yourself. Because essentially, if you are really doing the most in the red states, then you wouldn't need to be subsidized by the blue states. Okay? So look at where your money comes from. Right? Because it ain't coming from the middle. It ain't coming from the Rust Belt. Because I don't know what factories you got working there. Jim Jordan. You know, folks, what's important for us to understand is that we still have power, right? That is why they are working overtime right now to roll back the right to vote. That is why they are trying to tether women, right? To tether people with uteruses to their homes, to shackle you, right? This is why you're seeing workers' rights being eroded. All of these things are happening one right after the other. This is not a siloed event. This is a massive authoritarian takeover. And until we start discussing it as such, we're not going to come up with the strategies and tactics that are necessary in order to push back. Because I'm telling you, and I say this all the time on Woke AF, we are headed in one direction and one direction only, right? Because if you think that voting alone is going to save us, well, look at what has happened in the last several months since the 2020 election. Look, we have over 300 pieces of anti-voting legislation that has been rolled out. We have policies on the books. Not only is Greg Abbott fucking with women and people with uteruses in Texas, he is also making it certain that people of color cannot vote. He is making it certain, right, that he will stay in power for as long as he good goddamn well pleases. Because who is going to certify the election when it is a Democrat that wins, right? Think about that. If you think that 2020 was bad, what the fuck do you think is going to happen during midterms in several months from now? Because also, midterms are a year from this coming November. Wrap your mind around that. We are 4 months away from 2022, which means that we've already lived with this pandemic for damn near 2 years. Do you know how long the Spanish flu lasted? 2 years. And we are nowhere out of fucking COVID. We got a Mu variant now, right? That is now a variant of interest. It is not of concern yet, but much like the Delta variant was a variant of interest, it can fastly turn into something of concern. Folks, they are actively trying to kill us. This is not me being hyperbolic. This is facts. If you are watching the news, if you are paying attention, which clearly you are because you are watching me, they are trying to kill us. They are making it certain that you stay sick, that you stay undereducated, and then you have no ability to vote your way out of it. That is the big setup. You want to talk about the big fucking lie? The big lie isn't just about the 2020 election. The big lie is everything that they are putting together. The big lie is them saying that they are patriots and us allowing them to say so. The big lie is them telling us that everything that Biden is doing is somehow communist and socialist when they have been gutting social safety nets since the beginning of time. The big lie was the fucking trickle down that we're still waiting on from Reagan. The big lie, right, is telling us that as soon as we give tax breaks to the rich, that somehow that will benefit the rest of us. The big lie is telling us that they are pro-life when they are really pro-forced fucking birth, right? Wake up, folks, because we are running out of fucking time. That's what I have to say. That is my big message and my big alarm, is that if they are willing to send your kids to school unmasked, right? Because they're not even saying that it is a choice. They are telling schools that are trying to do the right thing that they cannot, that if they do, they're going to lose their pensions, that they're going to lose their paychecks, right? That's what they're doing. This is a forced situation. So they are forcing birth and they are forcing death. And you want me to say like, oh no, I don't know what's in their heart? I don't need to see what's in your heart when I see what's in your policies. I don't need to see what's in your heart. When I listened to Greg Abbott yesterday talk about, oh, he's going to end rape indefinitely. Bitch, you've been governor for how long? Rape's still happening. How do you end rape indefinitely? Huh? You don't. But the people sitting back there applauding him, yeah, he's going to do it. He says he's going to do it. Folks, we're running out of time. And frankly, I am no longer going to be giving this administration a pass because I don't believe that they are working on the same alarm system that I am working on. We need urgency. We need you to see Republicans and the white evangelical Christian fundamentalist fascist takeover for what the fuck it is. Stop telling us that we're living in a two-party system. Stop telling us that this is a democracy when it is not. Stop telling us, right? That we have the right to vote and that all we need to do is get more people out to register. Stop blaming black people, right? When we continue to save your asses, but continue to be thrown under the bus, right? Who do you think that these laws are going to hurt the most? The people who gave you the most help. Stop coming to our churches, stop coming to our places, right? And asking us to continue to do your dirty work when you are working not in overtime for us. So it is not enough for Biden to not be Trump. It is not enough for you to say, oh, I am, pro-woman's choice and all these things. No, no, no. I need you to be pro-abortion. I need you to be pro-women. I need you to be pro-people of color. I need you to be pro-keeping us safe. I need you to be pro-fucking reality. Because you cannot change anything that you do not face. That's what James Baldwin said so many fucking years ago, right? And white America refuses to face the reality that they are living in, the bullshit that they have created. The other day, and I know that I'm over time, but the other day, I'm watching all of these fucking videos, right, of white people, white women coughing on people in grocery stores, or white men ripping off people's masks. And I said to myself, you know what? Like, this is privilege run a fucking muck. Because white people have never been checked for a fucking thing. You've been able to do whatever it is that you want. You've been told that America is your fucking oyster, right? That everything is just laid out for you. So God forbid that we ask you to function within the collective. God forbid that we ask you to show up as part of a community, right? Because what I recognize about these radical right-wingers is that all you know how to do is destroy. All you know how to do is take down. And now we are living at a time, think about this, we are living at a time when now it is acceptable to put bounties on the heads of people who are seeking to help others have an abortion. Do you know the last time that we put bounties out, that we offered up rewards, right, for bodies? Slavery. Slavery was the last time that every white person in this fucking country was deputized. Bring back that black. Bring back that, and that's not the word that they use. We know good goddamn well, right? But every white person was deputized and could get a reward, right? In order to bring back an enslaved African person who was trying to struggle to get free. So now, Texas has done the same. Here is your up to $10,000 fucking Willy Wonka golden ticket, so long as you bring me the head of somebody that had the audacity to believe that they had autonomy over their own fucking body and have an abortion for a child that this state ain't gonna do a fucking thing to help. Wake up, people, because what is happening in Texas is gonna happen to the state that you live in. And don't think that you're protected because you're in a blue state, right? We all thought that we were protected. Well, guess what? America's exceptionalism bubble has been burst. And I hope everybody's eyes are wide the fuck open to where we are right now. Because if things don't change, if we do not see a sense of urgency from Democrats, if we do not see them acting, right? The only place that this is going is towards revolution. Because there is only so much pressure that you can put on people before they explode. And that is the fucking truth. Like it or don't like it, those are facts. Folks, that is it for me today on this Woke Wednesday. If you want to see past episodes of Woke Wednesday, go and check out my profile page and you can see all of them. Folks, if you want to continue to get woke and wake up everyone else around you, if you want the unvarnished truth, if you want your news with a shot and no fucking chaser, then head over to patreon.com/wokeaf and sign up $5 a month and you get 5 one-hour shows each and every week. Support independent Black queer voices like mine. Appreciate you all. See you next Wednesday. And you know what, folks? Meditate, smoke weed, do yoga, ground yourselves, buy plants, do whatever it is that you need to do to stay well, because they want us sick. And so use that as the way that you also channel in the warrior spirit and fight this revolution that we are already fighting. Appreciate each and every one of you. Until next week.